Hi, everybody. I'm Liza Minnelli, and I'm here to tell you about a wonderful picture called Meet Me in St. Louis. And it's my favorite holiday movie. I think it's my favorite movie of my mom's. And my dad did such an extraordinary and unusual job for those times. They gave him his first color picture, and he wanted to do this thing called Meet Me in St. Louis. At that point, Louis Lumiere said to Arthur Freed, "Well, what's it about?" Arthur said, "Vincent, what's it about?" He said, "A family." And then Mayer said, "Yeah, but what happens?" And he says, "Well, the father gets a job to go to New York, and they live in St. Louis."
The firm is sending me to New York.
And Louis Lumiere said, "Good," and he goes to New York. And Daddy said, "No."
We're going to stay right here.
And Louis Lumiere said, "Well, then he gets a better job at home." And Daddy said, "No." And he just... What he wasn't able to say was what came out in the film. At that point, it's an average family. And the bonds that tie us to each other.
Well, here we go. All aboard, everybody.
Meet Me in St. Louis really was the first musical where the music was part of their reality. For instance, Meet Me in St. Louis, the song, is started by one of the kids when they walk in the house.
Oh, meet me in St. Louis, Louis, meet me
At the fair, don't tell me the lights are shining.
Any place but there, we will dance the hoochie coochie. You will be my tootsie whoopsie.
And the fair is coming to St. Louis, so you believe that. You believe the romance of the boy next door.
The moment I saw him smile, I knew he was just my style.
The score to the film, Martin and Blaine's score, wasn't based on any plot. It was just songs about feelings. But they did write this one song, the trolley song. And it was grand to stand with his hand holding mine, da, 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 to the end of the line, right? So Daddy made a sequence, which you'll notice, that was about her catching the trolley, and he didn't catch it, and she was worried if he was going to show up, so that there was always an internal tension in all of these everyday life things. And then when he shows up at the end, it's just heavenly.
On with me, and it was grand just to stand with his hand holding mine to the end of the line.
She didn't want to do the movie. She said, "It's about another young girl. I'm tired. I've been doing that my whole life. I want to grow up." So she came on the set. She started to kid all the lines. In other words, say them like with a, a wink and a nod. And Daddy said, "Cut." He said, "You have to believe this." And she said, "Well, come on." And he said, "No, it's vital. Everything that you do has got to be the most important thing that's ever happened to you in your life. You have to care passionately, or the audience won't." And she thought about it and thought about it. And as she listened to him talk, she told me she fell in love with him. He was just crazy about her. After, if you notice throughout the film, she's always photographed in a frame, in the window, in the boy next door, and then another time in the window when she's singing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas."
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
But it was so important that it was just the right tone in the film. And of course, the way, the longing and the caring about her little sister, when she sang it, is everything you've ever wanted your big sister to be like. We've all wanted somebody in our lives that would understand and make us feel better. Personally, I think that it's so appealing to all of us because I think we'd all like to have that family.
Oh, Papa, you've given us the nicest Christmas present anybody could ask for.
It just amazes me. I don't know, I'm bragging about my parents' film. I'm sitting here. Why don't you just watch and enjoy it?
Right here where we live. Right here in St. Louis.